I'm Kyle. I'm Stockton's best man, and I just wanted to start out by thanking Rick and Georgia and Mary for everything. Like, everyone, I think, is really excited to be here, and I couldn't feel more fortunate. Over the past few years, I've gotten to know both of your families, and it's really special to see both of your families come together for this reason, and it's really cool to experience, you know, the whole process. Again, I just feel really fortunate to be here. So Stockton and I first met freshman year when we were pledging beta together. I don't remember exactly the specifics of, you know, our first interaction, but I think it was something like, "Hey man, I like sports." Me too. And we've been standing side by side, rooting for opposing teams ever since. But what started out as, you know, me being like, "Oh, this guy likes sports, I should be friends with him," I really lucked out because I learned really quickly that Stockton is maybe the most caring person that I've ever met in my life. I've never met anyone that goes further out of their way, that's more eager to help you out. He thinks about problems that you could have before, like, anyone else even realizes that it's a problem, and puts you before him to make sure that it's solved. But beyond that, he's the easiest guy to have fun with. He's the easiest guy to talk about problems with, and I couldn't be luckier that we both happen to like sports so much, right? But fun fact that many of you may not know is that I actually knew Katie and was friends with Katie before I was friends with Stockton. Pretty early on freshman year, Katie and I started hanging out, and we actually became friends before pledgeship began. And so I think it's pretty cool because when I, you know, got to know Stockton and he and Katie started dating, I was like, "That's awesome, Katie's great." And it was really nice and honestly amazing to see them fall in love together, but not surprising, but amazing to kind of watch them go all the way from meeting each other to falling in love to where we are now. And it's really cool that I've kind of been there for that whole ride, and I really think it's special. So it's nice to get to like really say that to you guys. So I think everyone that knows Stockton knows that he's going to be a phenomenal husband. He's the guy that never lets you down. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys with a quick story that I think encapsulates that's how Stockton never lets you down. The scene, Diamond Street. It's an off-campus house at Washington and Lee. There is a loft, kind of like out there for those of you that can see it. You know, it's upstairs. There's a railing around the loft that looks down at the living room, which is lined with beer bottles, all the different beers that they've ever had in the house, it's cool. It's like a, you know, cool thing to have beer bottles everywhere, everything they've ever drank, lining the loft. You can probably tell where the story's heading. Stockton and I are up in the loft playing beer pong. The game had just ended. I'm assuming I probably won. Stockton probably tried really hard. So I went down to grab some beers. Stockton from the loft said, "Hey Kyle, can you toss me that beer?" I'm like, "I'm just gonna walk upstairs where I'm going and hand it to you." And Stockton said, "Kyle, when have I ever let you down?" So I paused and thought about it for a second. And I'm like, I mean, he's never let me down. He's got me by the short hairs there. All right, so I take the beer. Perfect toss. Like, nice and soft, reaches its apex, like right at his head level. Starts slowly coming down. Just a complete whiff. It hits one of the beer bottles, which, domino effect. We're all right. So I dive under the loft. All of their collection of beer bottles that they were so proud of that they drank, shattering down in the beer room. And to this day, that is by far the closest that Stockton has ever come to letting me down. So, if you'll all join me in raising a glass to Stockton and Katie. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.